Well, thank you. I appreciate
Ultron, Robotech, everything.
appreciate that. Appreciate that. Well,
Yeah,
hey guys, how you doing? My name's Terrell. I'm with Big Gold Belt Media. How are you today?
good. How are you?
Pretty good.
Good.
Pretty good. Eleanor, Andrea, you definitely brought it in this movie. Brought a lot of energy.
Thank you.
Was not sure, but Gino, unfortunately, I got to start with you first, man. You're the guy of the hour. Everybody's talking about you today.
Thank you,
Uh,
man.
everybody's talking about how how awesome of a job, how smooth you made this as a director. Your direction, in the movie just made this so easy for them to be able to do this. And yeah, I mean, you usually hear that a lot, but this sounds like it's pretty genuine. Would you guys agree, Eleanor and Andrea? You had a pretty good time on set.
Yeah, 100%. Like it was so easy to work with Gino, I think, because it was such a privilege to have not only the writer, but the director, all in one. So he had such a vision for the film, which he shared with us, and just put a lot of trust in us to kind of, bring it and bring the energy and do our thing.
She's making me blush, man.
Look, man, when you do what you're supposed to do, good things happen.
I'm blushing, man. I'm blushing.
You actually are now. I'm blushing. Yeah.
Gino, I went into this movie blind. I didn't know what I was going to get, and this was
it's like a box of chocolates, isn't it? Huh?
Yeah, I didn't know what I was going to get out of this. I was like, is this going to be like a horror film? It's going to be aliens, and yeah, it went to the B letter. It's going to be aliens. Where did you get the being the writer and director? Where did you get the idea this from? Is this something you already had kind of brewing in the background, or this is something you've been working on?
I wrote this movie when I was by my uncle's house in Florida, over 7 days.
Okay.
And I came up with the idea that I want to see how people are psychologically affected by an abduction experience, and how it affects their family and their friends, and what they do, and like how far you go to like save the one you love. So I wanted to see like that human experience, and like dealing with MUFON and other people that have dealt with the government and the Pentagon in terms of like ex-military guys I've interviewed and everything else have experienced alien abductions and alien phenomena. I wanted to see the impact that would have on like a human journey towards trying to find someone that they love, or a group of friends trying to look for someone that has been abducted. And I think when I explored that, I'm like, yeah, this might be something interesting. That was my whole premise for it.
Oh yeah, you definitely made it interesting, and you guys definitely had the budget for the visual effects too, which were really really well done. And also,
which I supervised.
Yeah,
I supervised all 420 of them.
Oh my goodness, yeah. And two, shout out to getting Eric Roberts in this movie too. AKA the Master from Doctor Who, and so many other projects. When I saw him, I'm like, oh yeah, this legitimate now. this is an Oscar movie, right?
Eric was so great to work with. People always talk about, Eric is in so many movies and stuff like that. But if you listen to Eric's interview about this movie, he's like, he read the script and he loved it, and every character has their unique voice in this movie.
Yeah.
And he's like, he said he loved working with me and stuff like that. And he really, since The Dark Knight, I really thought he gave a really commanding performance in this movie.
Oh yeah.
So like it was an A-list commanding performance in this movie, and a lot of people are saying that. Like he really brought it, it's really like dark comedy, is horror, is everything, and like we saw that side of it. It's like people really love that moment.
Andrea, Eleanor, I don't know why Gino made you run so much in this movie, man. It's a lot of running.
Terrell, they're trying to get away from me.
A lot of running.
You know why they're running so much in the movie? Because they're trying to get away from me and me giving them work on it. Like, no, I gotta get away from this brother right now, man. I'm dying in this desert.
Andrea, let's talk about your character for a second. She's just hating throughout the whole movie, like especially on Eleanor. Like for no reason. I mean, we start off, she got exposed, through the phone. The phone, it was a voicemail that was recorded or something like that, and then she just kind of tried to backpedal her way back into life. She says it's not about the money. She's trying to take Eleanor. She's trying to take your spot, but you know. But what was your? I mean, how? What were you about to say? I'm sorry.
No. Please do ask me. Ask me.
How much fun did you guys? I mean, especially you playing your character, and you know, we know how that ends up. But how much fun did you have playing your character? You know, trying to squeeze your way back into the mansion.
Oh, I loved it. I loved it. I have to say that playing Delilah was absolutely incredible. It was a wild ride, but it got a bit tough at times because I really love my colleagues.
Right.
And then I had to like really stay in character, and I had to keep that conflict going. And yeah, that was challenging, but I really enjoyed being her for a while, for sure.
What Terrell is really trying to ask you, was it really Big Brother on steroids? That's what he's trying.
Well, yeah, at times. I don't know. It was tough, but it was fun. It was fun. It was fun to play Delilah. I think does that answer your question at all?
Absolutely answer the question. I mean, you got legitimately had fun in the movie. Like I said, I talking to the rest of your castmates, everybody seemed like they had a good time. They talked.
Yeah, we did. Considering the times we shot this in, we had a great time. We had a great time on set. And we waltzed through those long hours, those cold nights in the desert.
Those cold, lonely nights.
Yeah, those cold nights in the desert. Like, look, it was great. We truly created a family on set, and I think I'm hoping you could see that in the movie, because it's really entertaining, and I think you need to have that off screen, in order to create that sort of.
Definitely need that chemistry to make it.
Make it work. Yeah.
Eleanor, you could have saved us some time the whole movie and just told us your secret from the beginning. I know I can't talk about it, but like, yeah.
I know this was so preventable, wasn't it?
How fun was it to get in that? Like I said, you guys doing a lot of running, and eventually, you know, once we get back to you, how fun was it to kind of get back and get in the action mode once you were back in the scene?
Yeah, it was so great, and I'd sort of been in waiting on standby for maybe like a couple of weeks actually, because of the times that we were working in. It wasn't possible for me to come back to England in between, because I guess if normally you're just you know on set, on location for the chunks of filming that you're doing. So I'd been like hanging out. I'd been going to set, hanging out with Gino behind the camera. You know, he would let me come to set and sit alongside him. So I was ready to go. So I think by the time I was having to run around the set, I was like, let's do it. I've been sitting in a hotel room for 2 weeks. Let's go.
Yeah, like I said, man, I can say even now you guys are still excited to talk about this movie. Like I said, I had fun watching it. It was a great time.
Oh man, yeah.
Gino, let's talk about how you trying to kill everybody in that trailer scene.
Yeah, man, it was a bloodbath, huh? I really, you know, was really invested.
I remember that one.
Kill everyone, you know?
I was really hoping. That's probably like my during my review. I was like, man, I wish this was a little bit more positive. I was hoping this would have been a happier you know, closure here, but that is not the case, especially for my girl Delilah. Yeah, that could have been better.
Well, to be honest, I never liked the typical Hollywood ending.
Gotcha.
I like different. I think that intrigues the mind. You have to have that intrigue. You have to have people like, you know, really experience something different. You know, if you're doing a movie, do something different. Right. You know, I don't want to do something that's mundane at the end of the air, or something that everyone else does. That's not me. So, I think that this movie ends with a lot of ambiguity and mystery, and I love that.
Yeah, you definitely you leave a little bit of paranoia for everybody at the end of the movie, because now I got to sit here and think about that now. Me getting snatched out on the street. You know,
well, you see what I mean? That's what I mean. Like, yo, you gotta sit, you gotta think about it, and you gotta live with it, man. You gotta see what's gonna happen. You don't know. Sometimes the unknown is like is the most intriguing thing to the mind. You know, because if you know exactly how, if you see exactly how you want it to end, then you never really and not having that closure means that your mind is open to thinking the possibilities.
Well, the problem is I liked all the characters, and you know when
That's
that
good
happened
though.
to them, I was just like, yeah.
Well, but you know, I was, you know, everything's in service for the story, and it was just a nice arc for all the characters. Whatever happened, it happened because it had to happen for the arc to kind of come together.
All right, well, let me ask this, wrap it up here. Do you guys see yourselves working with Gino again in the future? If he had another movie, will you hop right on that?
Yes,
You want me to
definitely.
leave? You want me to leave the conversation?
Yeah. Happy. I'm free.
Yeah, me too. Let's go, Gino.
Yeah, you've got my number.
Let's do it.
Gino,
Yeah, I would love to work with my actors. I love them. We formed really a strong bond because we shot during the most difficult time it was to shoot a movie during COVID. You know, 2020 at the height of everything. So I think the bond that we formed was, you know, was lifelong. You know what I mean? We're always going to remember that. You know, working together at that time.
well, look, I mean, you guys been sitting on this for a while. I know you've been like, let's finally get to talk about it. And like I said, I had fun with this movie. Like I said, great cast, directed very well. I really like the visuals. Not really too much I can say that I didn't like about the movie. Like I said, it was a fun time. Like you said, and then left you know, you definitely left your stamp on there as a director. But like you said, with how you ended it and how you overall you directed it. Because if this wasn't on an alien planet, I would have never known. I would have never known. But look, I really
Thank you so much, Terrell. We appreciate that, brother.
no
We
problem. I really appreciate
appreciate this interview, man. Thank you so much. You know,
no problem. I really like I hope we get to do this again. I can't wait to see what your next movie is.
thank you so much, brother. Take care, man. All right, God
See you
bless.
guys.
Take care.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Terrell.
All right. Thank you, brother.